Hilo ni andiko la kwanza, Mathayo 25, Matthew 25. Are we there?
Yeah.
Kuna watu ambao hawajui Matthew yako wapi. Ni kitabu cha kwanza katika Agano Jipya. Matthew 25. Verse 33. Matthew 25, verse 33. And Jesus is talking about the very end of things. The very end, the deciding factor. He's talking about where you and I will be finally. Yesu anaongea kuhusu wakati ule wa mwisho. I think the very end of life and the beginning of something new. He's talking about what will happen on the judgment day. When Christ will come and there will be the end of things and new things will be starting. He's talking about that in this particular chapter. And he says on that day, that day is coming. That day will surely come. For us who believe in the Lord and who call ourselves Christians, why do you call yourself a Christian? It is because you believe there will be an end. You believe there will be judgment. Because why do you do good things? Why do you treat people well? Because you believe one day it will be mentioned. Why do you want to do things and then you feel, no, I can't do that? Why do you stop doing it? Because you believe one day that thing will be mentioned somewhere. We believe in the judgment day. Siku ya hukumu. Praise God.
Amen.
We have people doing funny things. Somebody just comes and slaps you. Then you stand there and you want to slap back. But then you realize, no. It will mention something. You know, we have had people really disappoint us. People destroy us. People mess us up. And we let it go. Sometimes I let it go. I would do something about it, but I let it go. And I say, may the Lord deal with you. Most of the things that people do, they don't get answers. They don't get justice down here. They'll get away with it. People will kill this lady, lost her son. Somebody just, killed her son. They just pursued her boy and killed her son for no reason. And she came to me and she told me, we have to get justice, we have to get justice. Please help me, please help me. So I took her to Nairobi, to the body that deals with the lawyers, where we have powerful lawyers in this country. And we began pursuing that case. And the police were corrupted. And things were not working. But when she went to the police station, she was told to go away. And they sent her to this station. And they referred her there. And then finally she got confused. She didn't know what to do. And she knows the people who killed her son. She meets them. When she's coming here, maybe she even met one of them. She knows it's this man who killed my son. And he went to the police and gave police money. So he was never prosecuted. And he looks at her and laughs at her. You know what? Justice was never done. And justice will never be done. And nobody will kill those people. They'll continue being alive. They will live for 70 years. Some of them will even be rich. They will drive nice cars. And she will see them driving and passing. And she will remember her son. Here is the man who killed my boy. He's prospering now. Oh God, where are you? Why can't you do something about this? is justice. And it will happen on that day. Mtu aseme judgment day.
Judgment day.
Siku ya hukumu. Justice. Justice will be done on that day. So Jesus is talking about that day. The day of judgment. And he says in Matthew chapter 25 verse 33, he says, and he shall set the sheep on his right hand and the goats on the left. So we have two animals in the eyes of God. There are only two. And the cow is not there. A donkey is not there. A camel, we just saw a camel while coming. When God looks at us, he sees only two animals. He sees what? Goats and sheep. Those are the only two animals. So while we are seated here, you are either of them. You are either a goat or sheep. When God is looking down, he sees goats. And then and sheep. And on that day, he will be sitting on a big throne. And on his right hand, what will be on the right hand? On the right hand, it shall set sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left hand. So this is my left hand, isn't it?
Yes.
These ones will be goats. On that, not now. Not now. But on that day, those ones who will be on these hands will be goats. And those that will be on this right hand will be sheep. We are not told how that will happen. I think when that day comes, the goat will just be found there automatically. You'll just find yourself here without being taken there. There will be some power that will come, the power of God, and it will divide. And the sheep will be found on this side. And the goat will be on this side. And that is what Jesus is saying. On that day, the sheep, the goats will be found on the left side, and the sheep will be on the right side. Then what will happen after this separation of the two people, the two human beings who ever lived here? Millions and billions of people will be just divided into two. We will not have white. She's a white blonde woman with blue eyes. She comes from Brazil and she lives in America now. She's a business person. We're talking business. I'm very dark. I'm born in Africa, raised here in Bungoma. She has been in Kitale. But on that day, all those things will disappear. Her color will disappear. My color will go. And there will be only two colors. The color of sheep and the color of goats. So you are either sheep or goat on that day. And Jesus is the one saying that. And he says, then shall the king, now the king who is sitting on the throne, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand. Now he will begin by addressing those who are on his right hand. The king is now sitting on the throne, and it's that final day. All white people have turned into either goat or sheep. Even Africans are either goats or sheep. And then the king will begin addressing those sheep. And he will speak to the sheep. And he say, come, ye blessed of my Father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and he gave me meat. I was thirsty, and he gave me drink. I was a stranger, and he took me in. I was naked, and he clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer the Lord and say, when did we saw you hungry and fed you, or thirsty and gave you drink? When did we saw you a stranger and took you in, or naked and clothed you? Or when did we see you sick, O God, or in prison, and we came unto you? And people will be surprised when they will be told, when the sheep will be told, I was hungry, and you gave me food. You blessed them. When I was sick in the hospital, and you came and visited me. And there are things he mentions with the sheep. Praise God. First of all, he mentions, you are blessed. And you'll inherit. Then, reason for that, I was hungry. Then you fed me. And the king is telling you, he was hungry. How can a king seated on the throne have been ever hungry? He will say, I was hungry and you fed me. And I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was drying and my throat was so dry. And I was on the sun, I was stinking and I was so thirsty. And I didn't have somebody to give me water. And you took funeral water and you told me, drink. And then he will continue telling them, and I was a stranger and he took me in. And I was wondering, I didn't have a place to go. And I was in the cold, wondering, where shall I get my rest? And it's at night. I'll be killed by the robbers. And you said, come to my house, come. And you took me into your house. And you gave me food. And you gave me a bed to rest. And he'll be telling that to the blessed sheep. And I was naked and you clothed me. I was moving around with the rags, smelling. You know, we move around and we see people with the rags. And rags are not very nice. They are ugly. And they smell. And they have worms. They have jiggers in there. And rags have bed bugs. And they have lice. And they itch. They are not very nice. And we find people wearing rags and they are smelling bad. Rags stink. And the king will say, and you saw me in rags, and you took off your cloth. You went into your house and brought your cloth, and you covered my nakedness. When I was naked, you rags, and you made me look like somebody. And people looked at me and who had despised me, and they thought, he looks now good. What happened? We thought you were rags. We thought you were a rag man. We thought you were crazy. You are mad. I once had a friend from the US, and we were moving around, and this woman stopped and said, excuse me, I'm sorry to ask you this question. Do you have a lot of mad people here? Do you have a lot of crazy men and women in Africa? And why did she say that? Because she saw a lot of people wearing rags. Praise God.
Amen.
I know I'm not supposed to say praise God with that statement. They were wearing rags. And she met a man wearing slippers, and one was blue, another one is red. And we moved on. We found an old man pulling firewood. Landana imebeba na uchafu wote, anavuruta, anaenda kupikia. And then as we moved, she saw two women from the river, and they wore rags. Their breasts were just outside because they were wearing rags. And as we moved, we found a child wearing some very dirty clothes. This lady asked, excuse me, do you have very many mad men in this country? Because of what she saw. And she saw a certain man. As she was asking that, this man had no teeth, and he tried to laugh, and his mouth stank. And she said, you see, I don't see this, I've never seen this. This people must be crazy. And on that day, the Lord will say, you saw me wearing those rags. You saw me with the red and blue slippers. You saw me smelling not very nice. And you gave me something to cover my nakedness. That will be the message to the sheep. Praise God. Amen.